Hi, my name's Deepavali,
And I'm her husband, Bappi.
and this video is on our thoughts on Minnal Murali. This movie is in Malayalam, directed by Basil Joseph, and the main characters are Jason and Shibu. Jason is played by Tovino Thomas, and Shibu, played by Suma Sundaram, is the antagonist. I love this movie a lot. I actually love this movie more than out of at least 7 other movies that I've watched this week. This movie made me want to watch more Tollywood movies, made me want to see more of what they have to offer.
I like this movie a lot, and I was not expecting this movie to be as good as it was. Like, when you just hear a concept of it's a superhero movie, like we have an idea of how layered a superhero movie can be. This one went beyond the expectation. When we talk about actions and stuff like that, we have a gauge of like how dramatic those the tensions in those dramatic moments, those stuff in those actions can be. This movie again elevates that.
The movie is slapstick comedy to a long period of time, and then it becomes gradually more and more thriller-like, more and more terrifying, more and more serious. It delves into the drama, and it does so really well.
So as you were describing, I just got flashback to some of those scenes, and I was like, oh, yeah. This movie simultaneously was Three Stooges, Tom and Jerry level funny, and while opposite end, it'll become as serious like Seven, like a David Fincher thriller. It's as dark as Zodiac. This is that point when you go like, oh, it's not gonna stay in that comedy, it's gonna slowly moving into drama. So that's how you gradually go from a comedy into drama. That's pretty nice. And you use romance and the rom-com structure as your foundation. But in rom-com, those characters would get together. Here they don't, so you move on, and moving on is drama.
That's the core thesis of this movie. The responsibilities that must come with power. If you become powerful and you do not respect or own your responsibilities to others, if you do not have empathy for other situations, if you do not have self-awareness or willingness to forgive, it can drive you mad. This movie manages to incorporate theatrical storytelling, superhero storytelling, and mythological storytelling. I love this movie. Please go watch this movie. I can guarantee that you will not walk out of this movie without at least having smiled or laughed. It's so entertaining, and not just entertaining, but it's an emotionally sincere movie.
Have you ever seen someone well put together? Like, they dress well, they're groomed well, they have good hygiene, they have good personality. When they're being funny, it's not like they're tone deaf funny. They know precisely when to be caricature and then take that slowly, gradually into a character point. When those caricature moments ends up being a character arc, like it's someone who knows their own style, their own fashion sense, and very comfortable in it, and they're well put together.
This is the first time in a long time that I've watched a movie, and especially a superhero movie, and gotten the same feeling that I get from graphic novels. It was akin in experience to the experience of reading a graphic novel, and how much more in-depth character exploration there is, in-depth philosophy analysis or theme analysis. I would say the last movie that I watched, comic book movie, that had this level of layers and mythology and even history and philosophy incorporated into it was, for me personally, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, yes, that movie was perfect.
And for anyone who's not used to long runtimes or does not appreciate long runtimes, this may not be your cup of tea. But for me personally, the longer runtime, especially because the movie's so well paced that I didn't even feel the long runtime.
Yeah.
I mean, let me put it like this. I've watched the movie twice already, and I want to watch it more times. And I noticed more things on the second watch, which is why I wanted to do spoilers, than I did in the first. When a movie gives me that, it is art. It is something that has artistic vision, that for me as an artist, I look at it and go like, just hats off. Hats off to the director, hats off to the writers. This is a really well-made movie, and given that the budget was $10 million, and they not only had to shut down because they started filming in December 2019, but they also had to go through numerous problems on set, from vandalism of their sets to the lead actor having COVID. Through all of those things, they managed to make this movie. To me, that's a triumph.
Yes, it is.
Unequivocally a triumph. I just have to say, these two lead actors carried the film so well, but every single person in this cast brought it.
The writer and the director were never making fun of people. They were having fun of the moments we have in our lives when we end up doing weird things, where we end up being unwittingly dumb, or, stuff like that. People being people.
Every single character has a proper character arc. Every single character is given due weight and portrayed as an actual living being, and a living being in South Asia, not a caricature, not something to laugh at or not something to deride. If anything, I would say that a lot of movies globally that are shown tend to depict characters of certain cultures as being, initially they seem like a good person, but then you find out that they're extremely petty. This movie starts off with the pettiness, and it shows you, all of us, what negative impressions we can give right off the first bat. And then the more you learn about a person, the more sympathy and empathy you have for them.
Yeah.
And the struggles they've gone through in their lives.
Yeah.
The character arcs, the family dynamics, the relationship dynamics, the different portrayals of the struggles that people go through, and what gaining power truly means, and how different individuals react to gaining power.
The movie managed to pull that off really nicely. The unfolding, as the story unfolds.
The writers of Minnal Murali are Arun Anirudhan and Justin Matthew.
Excellent writing.
This is proper literary writing, and we were talking about this. The subtitles of the movie do not do justice to. They do not do justice to the layers, to the. And the performances carry it off so well, giving so much meaning to the context of the dialogue. The cinematography of this movie is beautiful. Every single scene looks beautifully shot. Now, to talk in terms...
And consider the budget again. For the budget, the type of cinematography they pulled off, the type of directing they pulled off, we can argue about the polish of a VFX scene, but polish is not about, I didn't have the production capability as much as I was not given enough time to polish it. So polish, I always see it as movies have deadlines. So that's why you can't polish everything. But whatever they did polish, like the final shot, the main hero shots, they were just pitch perfect. And yeah, it was incredible.
For anyone who enjoys Bangla Natok, this captures the...
Asian drama. Asian drama.
Asian drama, Asian comedy. This toes that line of showing rural life. And obviously, when you're showing rural life, anyone who's experienced going into rural areas and seeing the extreme lack of resources, poverty, social problems, even just because people don't know any better. There's a certain level of ignorance that you have to take in mind, that they don't have that level of exposure.
And you don't make fun of it as much as you empathize with it.
Exactly. Even issues when it comes to domestic violence, even issues when it comes to the kind of struggles women go through and how they're treated in their society. This movie finds a way to not only show you the absurdity of it and the humor in those situations, but also the terrifying moments that women experience.
Yes.
It shows you what pure love and possibly pure obsession can look like.
Yes. yes, without judging it.
The movie treats trauma with a lot of empathy, with a lot of
Yes.
understanding.
Yes.
And if we're gonna talk about making villains empathetic or antagonists empathetic, this movie did that better than Joker for me. That's just my personal
Yes.
opinion.
Yes, same. I love Batman. My handle is Batman. And as you can guess, I legit like the Joker movie to the point I would say I almost loved it. But if I'm just talking about as a villain and the layers and characters and all of those blah blah, hell, even as just normal character, to me, this is good writing. So when you can show the sides without judging it, you can show the implication is bad, but still you haven't judged the person. You haven't made I don't know what to call it.
The characters are not props.
The characters are not props. There you go. The characters are people. They're not props for the writer to bash the audience with their personal ideologies. These are legit characters. Hence, when these type of stuff happen in real life, they usually happen with a lot of conundrum, a lot of nuance that we can't just hand wave and easily solve like Marvel action films.
When we're talking about polish, this is a rough diamond. It is still a diamond. It is still
yes.
precious.
Yes.
I mean, there are so many movies that are highly polished, but
It's a turd. It's a polished turd.
I was trying to find another term.
No, that's the actual turd. What do you call term? You can't touch a polished turd.
He said it, not me. It just,
This one's a diamond in the rough. Yep.
this is the first Malayalam superhero. First Malayalam superhero, and they knocked it out of the park. They pulled off a home run.
yes.
Every single sports analogy you can think of. This movie.
Can I talk about something? To talk about our mainstream superhero movies, Spider-Man 2 won the Oscar. Spider-Man 1 had a lot of jank. Spider-Man 1, if you watch the whole scene where Peter Parker chases Uncle Ben's killer, there's a lot of CGI looking. By today's Hollywood standard, it is very unpolished. Diamond in the rough. Diamond in the rough. This one's unpolished is as from our perspective, it's like our Spider-Man 1. Yes, some parts of it is unpolished, but overall the product and the stuff they did get right and the stuff that are polished are just excellent. They make the rest of it not only worth it, you literally would just hand wave the rest of it. Yeah, it happens. You can't get everything right.
It did not in any way compromise my enjoyment of the movie.
Yes.
And when I say I love this movie, I mean this movie is easily an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, yes. This is a movie that I would describe it as a solid 8 out of 10 movie. Yes.
That to me was the core thesis of this movie. And what the core thesis of, I think, of most superhero stories is that if you have abilities, if you are given something that makes you extraordinary, each one of us owes it not only to everyone around us, but owes it to ourselves to make the best of it. The visuals of this story, even the little things that they managed to add in, that his superhero costume had a COVID mask incorporated into it. His superhero costume literally looks like a fusion of Superman and Spider-Man's. In no cape and blue and red.
If you're a superhero fan, like, this is a movie you should check out. If you like big action movies and stuff like that, you should check this movie out. If you want to support our Asian media and stuff like that, like when they're trying to do something different, they're trying to do something big, experimental, whatever you want. Experimental in our standard, not Western standard. This is experimental for us. Remember, we cannot make these type of movies. So if you want to support that, then go watch it. There's lots of ways to access this movie. So it's made for so many different demographics, and it does each of them justice.
Absolutely. This movie is a South Asian story told by South Asian artists, creatives. The entire crew is, with the exception, I think, of the stunt coordinator. The stunt coordinator is from Hollywood. Aside from that, everyone on the cast is from Tollywood. These kind of movies are the reason I want to make videos. These kind of movies are things that these are the kind of movies that make me want to talk and engage with people about them. These kind of movies are important and will actually push film further, push the movie industry further, to not just trying to adapt old things or do biopics, but take original new concepts, explore them. Don't do something just to cater to elitism or like a specific audience. Like, there's going to be an audience for art that you create, and you should never have to fit inside of the box that's already there to be made.
Make your own box and do tricks from that. Jack in the box. Murali in the box. Minnal Murali.
I hope you enjoyed this video. What was your opinion of this movie? Have you watched it? Did you like it? Please let us know in the comments. If there's anything else you would like to see us share our thoughts on, share in the comments. And if you would like to see more from us, subscribe.